What goes on, guys? We're back at it again with another review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new-ish Deluxe Skelegod from the Mattel Masters of the Universe line, Masterverse, Revelations, Netflix series, whatever the hell you want to call it. The name is way too long. But bottom line, it's Deluxe Skelegod. At first, it was a Target exclusive, but I've seen in some places that it's starting to hit Walmart or whatever, but whatever. I finally came around to getting this. I wasn't going to get it at first, but I really liked the figures from the regular wave. So when I saw them in Target, I saw them actually a couple times, but I was toy hungry. I haven't gotten anything in a little bit. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and get it. Pulled the trigger on it and got it. I got some other stuff that was on sale. Like their pterodactyls are like 15% off, and I wanted to army build those, and couple half off Marvel Legends, things like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm saving on these. Might as well grab the Skelegod. But let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. We're going to start off with the packaging here. The back, there's the bio if you want to pause it. I love that artwork. That looks super cool. Let me get him out of the way so we can get a better look at it. But yeah, the artwork looks really cool. I think that's pretty awesome. You can see all the other figures from the wave. Yeah, that's everybody. I was going to say except Battle Cat, but Battle Cat is on there. Says Skelegod across the side there. There's the bottom with the barcode in case if you guys decide you need that. The front, he would be in there, but you guys know me. I take out my figures and play with them. Masterverse. And then you get, I think, the same artwork just flipped. I guess it's a little bit different, but there you go with the artwork on the side there. But yeah. So the packaging, big, bulky, and I hate the angles on the box because it makes it super hard to stay together now unless you put like another piece of tape on the bottom there. So that's annoying, but it's not that big a deal. But anyway, let's get the boring stuff out of the way. Let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. So starting off with my initial thoughts of this guy, I like him kind of just as much as I thought I was going to. Not more, not less. Just kind of like, oh, he's a cool figure. The sculpting work on this guy is pretty awesome. Like that head sculpt is really, really badass. I think that looks really cool. You can see the translucent green all around his neck with the big shoulder pauldrons. These are made from really soft plastics. That's pretty cool. You get the neon green in there. You get the kind of He-Man-esque H. It looks very similar to the He-Man from this series. It's usually that like Knights Templar kind of looking thing rather than like an actual H. But I mean, that looks pretty cool. Go along to the arms, you get the pinless arms, as Mattel's been known for a long time. I don't know why everybody's getting crazy over Hasbro doing it. Mattel's been doing it forever, but you get, the cape fell off, but sorry, I'll show that in a second. You get the band around the bicep there. That looks pretty cool. You do get this nice paint wash across the skin. Kind of messes up when, like, you do the joints or whatever. It kind of becomes, like, more bright or whatever, but it's not that big a deal. You get these nice big hands and these loose pieces. All these pieces come off, so kind of is just the only thing that's sculpted on are the bands on the thighs and the biceps and the like these are all separate pieces, but the H thing that is sculpted on too. It's actually like 2 layers. It's pretty nice looking. You get the nice loin piece here, excuse me. Very thin plastic on the back. It does have a nice like paint wash in it. You get that wash all the way through to the back. These straps, like I said, do come off if you want them to. I'm not going to do that because it's just, I don't really think too many people are going to want to see that. You get the nice big hands on this side too. You get these cool looking boots that kind of look, I don't know, they kind of remind me of Snake Mountain a little bit. That could just be me, but I like the neon green all throughout it. That's a really nice color. And then you get these like humongous feet. Like they're really long and thin. Especially like when he's standing, it kind of looks a little weird. Like there's one picture that I posted on my Instagram where he kind of looks like a duck, but that could just be me. But yeah, overall it looks pretty cool. You also do get this cape that is 3 layers, which I've never seen on a 6-inch figure. You get the top piece here, then the middle piece with these plastic weights on the bottom of it, so it like drapes good, and then you get like the actual like big piece of the cape with this like paint over it. This is really nice. I think this is really well made. Obviously a bendy wire is always nice, but it's not that big a deal. You get these like clasps that go on it, and they just kind of like hook onto the back. It doesn't stay on like super great, but I mean, unless you just don't push up and you're fine. And then, it kind of has them on there. So it's really easy to get off if you decide that you want to take it off. But yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories for this guy. Despite the fact of him being a deluxe figure, he doesn't really come with much. He comes with 2 interchangeable hands. These are both gripping hands, so you can have him holding his accessories, but they're also used for something else. They look exactly the same as displayed out hands. You get the same exact power sword that came with He-Man. I literally don't even know. They're so similar in paint. I literally don't know whose was who, so I might have He-Man holding Skelegods or what. It's not that big a deal to me, but it's the same exact one that came with He-Man. But the one special accessory that he comes with is this necroplasm-esque like effect part. Now what you're going to do, it's really simple. You just pop the hand off here or on the right side. It really doesn't matter. Pop in the corresponding hand, and then you just slip it over it. So kind of like those Marvel Legends flame effects that we get a million times. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not too big on the way that this looks. The sculpt is kind of really soft. And for a second, I thought it was glow in the dark, but as far as I know, it's not. Like if I turn off my lights, yeah, it's not. I don't think it's glow in the dark, unfortunately. That would have been really cool. I might paint, like just dip it in glow in the dark paint and see if I can get it to glow in the dark, but I'm not really too worried about it because if I have that glow in the dark, I might want to repaint all the neon parts, so I don't know. But the translucent green does match those stuff, like his collar flames, I like to call them, like the flame around his neck. So, I mean, it's cool. If you don't like it, you take it off. I'll probably have him with it because I don't want him with the power sword. So I kind of want him doing something special. So it's kind of hard too. Like I said, the sculpt's kind of soft, but it's a nice piece. But not just, I think it could have been executed a little bit better in my opinion. Also, I kind of like how the Marvel Legends one has like a longer side that you can put like on the forearm. So like it looks a little bit different. There's not really that with this one. They're all kind of the same length, just different shapes. So, I don't know, it kind of just looks like a nub hand, but that's just my opinion. You might like it. You might like it a little bit more than me, but yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at his articulation. This articulation on Skelegod isn't that bad. I took the cape off just so I'm not fighting with it the whole time, but it's pretty good. So the head is going to look upwards that much, so not that much. It'll look down about right there. Swivels all the way. The horns really don't get in the way. And you get good pivot, but I wish you could look up a little bit more. The pivot's really nice, so he kind of rocks all the way around. Not too bad. For the arms, the shoulders are going to move upwards past 90. The shoulder pads really don't get in the way doing that. Moving forward, they can go all the way around. The shoulder pads will kind of rotate, but you can fix them, and it's not that big a deal. Bicep swivel, pinless double jointed elbows that work really nice on a big chunky guy, especially with these shoulder pauldrons. They basically can't go in anymore, so these really don't get in the way at all. And then a wrist swivel and hinge. I wish he had the vertical hinge for the sword hands. That would have been nice. You get a nice diaphragm joint here that rocks all around, so crunches forward about that much, crunches back not so much. It doesn't rotate there, so don't do that. You do get a waist swivel there, so that's good movement for me and doesn't look too ugly like off the side. I don't like when that happens, like on the Marvel Legends 80th Hulk body. Ooh, man, that thing's ugly when you rotate that. But the hips move outwards that much, so almost full splits down all the way. He doesn't have that weird clicking thing that He-Man and Skeletor do, but it's not that big a deal. He kicks forward that much, kicks backwards. You do get a thigh cut, pinless double jointed knees that move in pretty much all the way. Again, the paint kind of doesn't go in there, but it's really not that big a deal. Who's going to have him posed like that? You get the boot rotation, and then ankles move upwards that much, downwards that much. Kind of a weak ankle pivot, but whatever. I also do have to mention that the ankles are really loose on mine. He's going to do it now, but he tends to fall forward really easy. But as I just proved, he can stand pretty good, so it's not too bad. But let's see how he looks next to his other counterparts from the wave. So here he is next to He-Man and Skeletor, and I gotta say, he looks smaller than I thought. Like, in the package, he looks a little bit bigger, but it's not that big a deal. I still think he looks good, and in my head, it works because when Prince Adam gets the Power Sword, he doesn't, like, double in size when he becomes He-Man. He still stays relatively the same size, so sure, his look changes. So I can see this turning into this from the Power Sword, because Skeletor's his own, he's like a different breed. So I can see that happening. I'm okay with that. I think this looks really cool. I also, when I was taking pictures, I popped the head off of this Skeletor and this one. And then with this on here, and that doesn't really work. I mean, it kind of does. I mean, I don't really know where the hood would be coming from, but that's cool, I guess. But what I thought was really cool was this Deluxe Skeletor head on the Skelegod and on the Skeletor body. I think that looks actually really cool. I took a really cool picture of him standing there like that. So I think this actually works kind of cool. Definitely not going to leave him like that because I really like that Skeletor head sculpt, but it could just be a cool display option or a customizing idea if you were into that. But yeah, so that's him next to them. I'm not going to show him next to like Mossman or Evelyn or Battle Cat. If you want to see comparison to those, just check out my review of the Wave from Walmart and Battle Cat. But yeah, these look pretty good together. So what are my final thoughts on this figure, you may be asking yourself? I like it. It's cool. It's not outstanding by any means, especially of a character that we really have never seen before. This is a new character for the new Revelation show. I think most people's assumptions, and this figure kind of spoils it to be honest, is that this is Skeletor if he ever gets the power sword. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious he came with the power sword, so whatever, maybe it's something different, but I really don't think so. The figure, I think the coolest thing about it is I love the color scheme of this guy. I love that classic villainy green and purple and black. I think that's always awesome. Like, the Joker is my favorite villain. I mean, I know that's cliche, I'm sorry, but he's what got me in the comic books and things like that. So seeing that color scheme, I'm always a fan of that. I think that looks awesome. But yeah, him standing there looks pretty cool. I noticed, and I should have mentioned this in the review, but you can go check my Instagram photos for it. If you take off the pauldron and the cape at the same time, he looks really goofy. His proportions with the head, his head looks really high up and it looks really small. So the cape and the pauldron, like the shoulder pieces, really help that. But just keep that in mind. Like, sometimes his head might look a little small and out of proportion, but it's not that big a deal. I really got to say that I really like this figure, and I'm happy that I wound up picking it up. There's a lot coming out at the time of this recording. Hasbro just solicited their Galactus HasLab project. They're teasing a Rancor. NECA's about to do their post-con thing, or not post-con, like their Comic-Con reveals and things. Scareglow has been revealed as a Mattel Creations exclusive for Comic-Con, along with the Kevin, this, that, the other. There is a lot coming out right now. So maybe this wasn't the best time to buy a character that I wasn't too big on, but whatever. I'm rambling at this point. If you guys like the review, I would really appreciate some likes, some subscribers. That'd be awesome. I've been growing a little bit. I'm actually kind of happy with how many people have subscribed recently. My con video has over 500 views at this point, and that is amazing. Thank you guys for those of you who have watched both of them, but that's all I got for today. If you want to follow me on Instagram, @ZachToys, but I'll keep in touch. Peace.